It's Friday, June 12, 2015, and let's talk about what happened this week over at xdadevelopers.com. First up, I thought I'd mention something I thought you guys might be interested in, since it's kind of development related. I made a video about the MBot educational robot kit over on my channel, and showed off some of the graphical programming environment you can use with it. Links to that down below if that sounds like something you might be interested in. A new cyanogen-powered device has been announced in Indonesia. They're calling the Andromax Q. As far as specs, it's not hugely impressive, but it's going to be available for 1.3 million rupiah, which is less than $100 US, and it runs Cyanogen OS. OnePlus is holding two competitions right now, offering the chance to bring 3 people to Hong Kong, all expenses paid, to experience the new OnePlus 2. They're picking 1 winner from their photo competition and 2 winners from a video making competition, and you have until June 15th to enter. So if you're a OnePlus fan and you're dying to check out their new device, read through the article for more details. OnePlus also released some more details about the upcoming Android 5.1 for the OnePlus One. They say a preview build of CM 12.1 is going through Google certification right now, and it should be available soon, but Oxygen OS based on 5.1 isn't going to be out until after the OnePlus 2 releases. Ouch. Speaking of updates, AT&T apparently pushed a small update to their LG G4 without any sort of user interaction. They say that it was just a minor change to the AT&T address book, but still, it's a little bit unsettling to update a device without the user actually having to accept that update. And speaking of the G4, iFixit released their repairability score for the LG G4 this week, giving it an 8 out of 10, which means that it's actually quite reasonable to take it apart if you have to. For the sake of comparison, they gave the Galaxy S6 a 4 out of 10. So the G4 seems to be significantly easier to work on. From a post over on Xperia blog, with Sony's new devices, the M4 Aqua, C4, and the Z4 tablet, they've included a theft protection mode they're calling MXTP, which keeps anyone from wiping the device or flashing any updates to it unless they've got your Google login information. It can go into a whole lockdown mode if you don't have it. And they store all of that in your My Xperia profile, so a potential thief or anything can't get in there and remove it. It just locks the device down. Very nice stopgap measure until Google puts in some stronger device protection. And speaking of updates from Google, a post over on the portal showed comparisons of standby time on the Nexus 5 running both Android 5.1.1 and the new Android M preview, and the Doze feature that they've included seems to be working quite well on it. Also, it seems that Google has turned on a location-aware search, so it can figure out from your location the context of some of the things that you might ask it. As an example, someone might ask it, what's the length of this river, when you're standing next to a river, and it can figure out that you're standing there and tell you how long that river is. Kinda seems like a precursor to the Now on Tap that Google's gonna be including with Android M. A DIY project from Joe Aguila was featured on the portal as well, showing you how you can build your very own Android Auto development box without actually having to own a car. This is not gonna be for the faint of heart. It's got a lot of electronics to it, obviously, but it is very cool that it all fits into a small, like 26-inch toolbox when it's all done. XDA Senior recognized developer Jay Case, working with AutoPrime and The Cubed, managed to root the LG G4, but they probably won't be releasing that root. The first G4 they did it on did not survive, and the second method they tried they said was unsafe. So while it may happen down the road at some point, not quite yet. There are now officially CM 12.1 nightlies for the Euphoria, so if you've got that device, you might be interested in checking those out. A new version of Titanium Backup has been released, adding in support for the Android M preview, so if you've been missing out on that, head on over to the Play Store and make sure you've got it. An app called Automate was featured on the portal, which is essentially a graphical alternative to Tasker that supports plugins for Tasker, so it seems like a bit of a win-win. And speaking of Tasker, version 4.7 of it was released this week as well, so make sure you do get your update on that if you continue to use it. XDA recognized developer Leedroid ported Android 5.1.1 from the LG G Watch Urbane over to run on the G Watch R, and so far the users of it are reporting better UI speeds and Wi-Fi handling out of it. Amir posted his first impressions of Hydrogen OS for the OnePlus One to the portal, Hydrogen OS being OnePlus's Chinese-specific ROM. Matthew put up an editorial talking about why he thinks we'll never have the perfect phone. XDA forum member Laufer Steppenwolf was the next Voices of XDA feature, talking about how not necessarily all XDA members are IT people. And finally, 3 other videos were posted to XDA TV this week. TK did an Expose Tuesday talking about the Scroll Me Up module, then I did a review of the Zenfone 2, and then TK did an app review of iCondi. But you know what? That's gonna be about all from me for today. You can find the links to all the stories that I talked about down in the video description, as usual, as well as the links to my YouTube channels. Remember, if you like this video, please do give us a like down below the video. We definitely appreciate it, and subscribe to receive all of our videos as soon as they become available. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.